Hey everyone! It's been a hot minute since we put a video out. Actually, I think we're coming up to about just over 3 months now since our last video. So to fill everyone in who hasn't been messaging us or seeing our comments on their videos, we live in Melbourne, Australia, and we've been in lockdown again for the last 3 months. So it's also been that time of the year where our backyard gets no sunlight at all, and we're only just getting back into it now, which is super exciting. And my happiness factor has gone up tenfold since the sunlight started to return. So we thought we'd put a little video out to just show you how the garden's going after the long winter shutdown. So like we said, no direct sunlight into this backyard over the winter months, so a lot of our things die over the winter. But we've had a few things survive this year, which has been quite unexpected. Definitely much more than previous years. So I'll show you around and give you an idea of what survived the treacherous weather here. For those that like to join in for our adventure videos, be rest assured we're coming back towards being able to escape into the countryside again. We're working on a few things in the background at the moment, but we're just waiting for the go-ahead to be able to start adventuring around our state again. About 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I grabbed the potatoes from last year's bag growing experiment, the ones that we hadn't eaten, and decided to plant them in this bed. We were getting no direct sunlight at the time, and we still haven't. You can actually see a little bit touching the leaves now, and that's the most amount it gets at the moment. But they've been able to grow pretty thoroughly now, so pretty excited to see how they go. Just at the tail end of the last amount of sunlight that we were getting in before the winter months really settled in, we planted some kale, some beetroot, some cauliflower. Surprisingly, some growth actually did happen. I don't think these are going to be very tasty. I think we're just going to have to rip them out because they've been growing probably far longer than you really need them to, but we're just keeping them here for the moment until we start deciding what we want to replant in there, because it's kind of nice just to have something growing in the backyard. In here we've actually got a couple of volunteer tomato plants. These came from the seeds that fell into the soil after the last ones from last season died off. If it does take off, it'll be the first time that we've had tomatoes grown from our own seeds from previous season's crop. The Swiss chard is now about 3 seasons deep, and this just keeps going on. It doesn't pass away, it doesn't die. We cut it back like no tomorrow, and it just keeps thriving. You can see through here the really thick stalk that it's got, and that's because it's a few years old now. Last season it got up as high as coming through the top of our cage before we cut that back, so that's why the stalk is so thick, but it just is abundant. The spring onions that we grew last season from some cut-offs that were from store-bought ones are still kicking on. Megan still eats them from time to time. We just cut them back every so often and they keep regrowing, so highly recommend growing your own a crack. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Hopefully we will see you all shortly, and I hope everybody else is doing really well.